Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Excited to chat with you today.
I know it's going to be awesome. All right, so I'm here with Christy Kaltenbach, and we wanted to talk about essential oils and babies. So, Christy, you are the baby whisperer for good reason. How long have you been a nanny, and how did you get that title?
Oh my gosh, I have been a nanny for 32 years.
Really?
Crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Not to age myself. My youngest first family, let's see, William is 22.
Wow. That's amazing.
So, yeah, it's crazy. I have adults in my life that were my babies. So,
Wow. That is super cool. So you've gotten to watch them grow up and been part
yeah,
of their lives ever since they were little. Oh, that is so, so cool.
I was with them for 13 years. That was my longest gig. So, yeah, and then I just kept doing it, and I've loved babies since I was a baby. I had babies at home that I took care of and put to sleep and tucked in and fed their bottles and
Aw.
all of that. So yeah,
So
I
it's kind
love
of
it.
just kind of in your blood and you're just like compelled to do it.
Yes, yeah. And
Yeah.
then sleep is really a passion. It's passionate for me just because it's super important and it's something that I struggle with and um, parents struggle with when they have a newborn. And so I just kind of just became my thing to help people and yeah, give everyone in the house sleep.
Yeah, so you've developed a
Possible.
course, right? A
Yeah,
baby sleep course.
I do. Yep. Sleep training program. Yep. It's going pretty well. I've done it 9 times on my own with all my families, and it's amazing. It works under a week. A couple days
Really?
of
Because I know
training.
a lot of parents struggle with that. And I've talked to new parents and even parents of toddlers that are having, their babies aren't sleeping very well. And for you to be able to do it in a matter of like days or a week, that's
My trick is I start at 4 months. The books will say 6 months. It's too late. You can
interesting.
always do it. It's just harder when they get older. It's harder
See, and
because
here's why you're the baby whisperer.
here it is. Yep.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
So
what?
now, I don't know if in your area you've got lots of sickness going around, but I'm seeing a lot on social media just in the last few weeks that more and more people seem to be coming down with some kind of nasty illness. And then sickness in kids is a really scary problem right as well.
Yeah.
So there are news stories that people can't find the drugs too. So they're trying to get like children's Tylenol, nobody can find it.
Mhm.
And since you and I are both fans of using natural plants rather than pharmaceuticals wherever possible, I wanted to talk to you today about natural plant remedies and how parents and other nannies can confidently reach for essential oils rather than, the children's cough, cold, and flu meds. So a lot of parents are concerned about their children's health and wellness, as we know, and they
Yep.
don't want to put them on pharmaceuticals, but there's also a lot of fear, I think, about essential oils. So
Yep.
let's talk about what parents and nannies should be cautious about when deciding to start using essential oils in their home and with their kids.
Well, first of all, I would be cautious about not using them.
Good point.
I'd be more cautious about using pharmaceuticals. That's just me.
That's
Um,
that's really great. Yeah, I totally agree.
a lot of people get scared at that, Is it safe? Is it okay? Do the research on both. That's what I always say is start with doing your research. Um, but uh, for me, it's knowing the oil you're using, doing the research on the oil you're using, making sure that it's pure. Yes, organic is good, but that's not enough.
Hmm.
Um, not store bought. So start with that and just doing your research. And there's testimonials out there. You and I both have testimonials if people needed it. Um, it's plant juice. So for me, but I know it's hard to get started on something like that. So start slow. You can always add more, right?
True. Yeah.
So
So So how much when you start, like, just, how do you start?
Um, their feet. I dilute it and I use it on their feet. And you can even do this with newborns. I have information that I can put the chart somewhere um, when we're done for everyone to see. So it's basically like 0 to 3 months, 1 drop, 3 to 6 months, 2 drops, so forth and so on. And diluting it and using it on your feet because your feet have thicker skin. So it's less sensitive. And then a little bit of pressure helps soothe, it's not soothe it in, but steep it in. So a little bit of a foot massage while you're putting pressure on the oils to get through. And then also your feet are connected to everything. So I always use the feet. The arch of your foot is your stomach. The big toe is your brain. Your sinuses are on your little toes. So there's
That's
more.
cool.
I know. Yeah. I love this stuff. So I love it. That's where I start. It's always super safe. I totally don't worry about putting on babies. And even I've had 3-year-olds I've put it on and not diluted it and they were fine. But even for adults, you need to do a test because there can be times where people are sensitive to that and you've got to be careful. Um, and you don't want to overdo it the first time. Play with them. Start. There are some oils that I'm sensitive to as well. So they can be sensitive, doesn't mean they're bad for you or they're harsh chemicals. It just means you got to dilute it, less oils, some hot oils. There are other things which could probably be another video, right?
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. And citrus oils too, because if you're
yeah,
exposed to the sunlight, right? So,
yeah,
yeah, those can be photosensitive. Mike
yeah.
actually, when he uses orange oil on his skin, he has a reaction to that, and he actually, he'll have a reaction sometimes to eating oranges. So there's something
Oh,
there with the
the
oranges
citrus.
that his body's
Interesting.
like, no.
That's interesting. The other day I was putting tangerine. I think you told me to use tangerine, and I put on my heating pad.
Oh,
Yeah, I was on fire. Okay, so there are things, right? There's like everything.
yeah, yeah,
It was hot for a while. Mhm.
yeah, for sure. So, are there any age concerns? You said that you use essential oils around babies, but is there anything kind of, how do you differentiate between like how much to use at a certain age? Is that a thing?
Yes. Yeah. There's definitely a thing. So the newborns get 1 drop, and diluted. And if you're using a diffuser in a bedroom is fine. You don't want it to put like in a bathroom with them. You want it to be like kind of an open space. Um, so just to be cautious of, shoving it up their nose or putting a whole bottle on them.
Don't shove anything up their nose.
No, no.
They'll shove stuff
And
up
some
their nose themselves.
heck, they really will. And that's fun too. That's a whole nother video for sure. Um, I like to put oils on me if it's a baby I'm caring for and then hold them so they can breathe it in.
That's a good
So,
idea. I love
or
that.
if they have a lovey or something that they snuggle with. So if you don't want to put it on them, put it near them and diffuse it for sure. And then your feet. That's the safest way. Eucalyptus globus is one you don't want to use under 2, but eucalyptus radius, if that's how you say it,
Or
or
radiatus. Yeah, or
radiatus.
radiata.
Yeah.
Radiata. Yeah.
Yeah. I know not every company has all the different kinds of eucalyptus, but I know that that's like one thing that did come up is like specific eucalyptus is not okay. The radiata seems to be fine because it's a little more mild.
Well, and
So
this is a great reason to work with somebody who is knowledgeable about essential oils, right? Because if you just go to the grocery store or Walmart or something, you're not going
no
to
idea.
find anybody there to help kind of, educate you on stuff like
Yeah.
this. So to
Yeah.
even be talking about, the different kinds of eucalyptus plants and knowing that each one of them has different compounds that can do different things in the body, that's a great point to
Yeah.
make for, why you would want to basically like team up with someone that knows what they're talking about.
Right. Right. You need to have an oil lady.
You need to have an oil lady.
Got a nail lady, you got a hair lady, get an oil lady. Here we are.
Exactly. So I'd love to just talk a little bit more about what you are up to as far as your your future with nannying and what you see yourself doing.
Okay. So currently I am a nanny. Still doing that. I work 4 days a week and my day off is really not a day off. And that day off to kind of creating an online nanny agency, if you will, nanny consultant, just kind of online because I have friends everywhere. I know nannies, I have connections, and I want to help nannies. I want to help nannies and families. I was going to say I want to help nannies. I was going to jump into this right away. I want to help nannies get what they deserve and know their worth and ask for it. This is a big thing. I've been doing it for 32 years and I still don't always know how to ask for it. So it's a struggle, and you don't get rich off being a nanny. So you do it because you love it. So, and then to help families find the right nanny. So it's kind of a work in progress. And of course I still have my sleep training program. Always. I will always preach about sleep to anyone and everyone that will listen. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And I can talk oils for days. So
let's talk about what maybe parents or nannies should have in their kind of medicine cabinet or bathroom cabinet as far as, sickness that's going around and what's, rather than if we can get away from the children's Tylenol and that kind of thing, are there certain oils that maybe a parent could start with? Because there's so many, there's hundreds of oils, right? So are there kind of your top recommendations?
For sure. I would say for sure peppermint oil, because that can break a fever. I know it's crazy, but it can and it does. And
so if you had let's say you've got a baby or a toddler with a fever, what would the parent need to do? Or what do you do with your babies?
I would take, again, depending on the age, but probably 1 to 2 drops of peppermint oil. I use fractionated coconut oil.
The liquid one, right?
Huh?
The liquid one? Yeah.
Yes, the liquid one. Yeah.
Okay.
Or I make it liquid. Either way, it's liquid. And then I would massage that on the bottom of their feet with pressure and on the back of their neck. And it's a cooling oil, peppermint is. So it just takes the temperature down. Also, I was reading something somewhere, I wanted to add this, that if you give your child Tylenol or Advil or something to break fever, some medicine, it actually lasts longer. It takes longer for the fever to break when you're numbing because you're kind of like coating it. That's not the right word, but you're kind of masking it. You're putting a Band-Aid on the fever, so the pain will currently go away, but it takes longer for it actually to go away.
Interesting.
So yeah, so that's interesting. And why would you want, anyways? Okay, so peppermint oil. I use, peppermint. I don't leave home without it for all the reasons, but for your children, that's a good one. You can also put a drop in their bathtub, in the tub, and give them baths. I would say peppermint and lavender, peppermint and lavender. You could do eucalyptus, again, just make sure you're using the right one and very little. It's so diluted that it's not, but a warm bath with these oils in it, with the bathroom door shut, and kind of make it little spa-like.
That's awesome. Start them early with the spa treatment.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it opens them up, right? So the breathing thing, it's the whole thing. So I would say peppermint for sure. Frankincense is good for all the things. Really good for clearing your sinuses up, but it's a go-to when anyone doesn't feel good. Lavender, again, it calms everything down. Lemon is great for breaking up the mucus and kind of stopping all the things. My go-to for allergies, and this can be for kids too, is lavender, lemon, and peppermint. Because lavender calms it, the lemon breaks up the phlegm and kind of stops all that, and the peppermint opens everything up. I've also used
interesting about the phlegm and the mucus, because lemon is also like a great kind of cleaning oil for the kitchen, right? It's like a degreaser. So if we think of like the
Yeah, it
the
degreases,
parallels between like greasy and mucus, it's like, okay, I could actually see why that's effective.
it cleanses us too. Exactly. Yeah,
Ah,
it's true. And it's very, yeah, and lemon oil is filled with antioxidants because of the way it's, right, the lemon, the peel of the lemon, and it's filled with goodness. So, and it's energizing. Anyways, okay, so you can make roller balls with a little bit of fractionated oil. Um, then that's just easy to carry around and rub on your feet and depending on their age, their chest. And then you can also just diffuse it. I always recommend diffusing. I recommend doing both when there's a sick kiddo around. And I use it for everybody to protect everyone, even if you're not sick. It's just kind of a good preventative, staying
true.
above the wellness line. So
So what's
yeah.
what kind of, so you would put these all together in a diffuser or kind of one at a time or?
If you can put them together, great. If you don't have all of them, that's fine. Use what you have. Um, sorry. And so I have another one too. It's another, these are my two kind of blends that I like. Clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus. Again, if you're using a child, you can use whatever kind of eucalyptus you want to use, and rosemary. So the drops are, clove says 30 drops. I don't know. Do what you want. I can't tell anyone how strong they want it. You know, I would say start with 10. You can always add more, right? Do 10 of each, maybe 3 eucalyptus.
In like in a roller
In
bottle?
a roller. That can be in a roller or in a diffuser as well.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then some of those can just go on your feet without a roller. If you don't have a roller ball, that's fine. You don't need it. You can put them individually. You can, get a bowl, get a little glass jar, put coconut oil in it, put all these oils in, and just have a foot massage and then on the back of your neck. And you don't need to buy all the things. I think people get kind of overwhelmed when it's like buying all the stuff.
Right.
So keep it simple. Just use the oils. It doesn't matter as long as you're being safe and you've done some research. So
You've made me want a foot massage now.
me
I can
too.
almost feel it. Like, oh, that would feel so good right now.
Wake up, Joe. We're not done yet.
I know. So good. So
That's
good.
awesome.
So
So good.
do you have like a downloadable or a checklist or something that people can have for like a recipe?
Recipes for these? I
Mhm.
will. Hmm.
Awesome. All right. So
Yes.
we can post them
Yes. Probably
under the video
tomorrow.
or connected to the video somehow. Yes. Okay.
Yep, for sure. Um, yeah, and the age limits for diluting. It's pretty basic. 0 to 3 months, 1 drop, 3 to 6, 2 drops, 7 to 2 years, 3 to 4 drops. It's pretty basic. I've used them on all my kids. I've never had an issue, and I've never really worried about how many drops, to be honest. But I use good oil, like so. Just make sure you've done all the research and you feel good about the oils you're using. Because if you buy it at the store, you're gonna have different response. You might have a reaction because it's chemical. So
True. Yeah, you don't really
gotta
know
stress
what's in
that.
it. And especially if it says, fragrance on there, because I've seen people that are using essential oils that it says actual fragrance on there and not an oil at all.
Yeah, you don't want that. You want pure. And the other thing I would like to add, this is a really good tip. If you ever get too much or you have a reaction or you get it in your eye or don't use water. Do not use water that magnifies it. Just coconut oil and in about a minute it'll be gone. The pain will, it's not even that bad, right? But people freak out and they want to go to the water. It's like your reaction. That just makes it worse. So I like to add that.
Yeah, that's a great tip because I mean, inevitably you're going to get, especially if you're using clove or cinnamon, you're going to have it
Peppermint.
on your fingers and then you're going to rub your eye.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So wash your hands, but if you forget,
Yeah,
we all do.
true.
Yeah.
Yes. I've had clove in my eye before just because, yeah, for that exact reason that you
Yep.
forget that you were touching it or you put it on your arm or something and then you rub your arm and then
Yep.
minutes
Yeah.
later you're touching your face. So yeah, some of the hot ones are woof,
The
very
hot
hot.
ones. And peppermint's very, very fresh.
That's true. Yes. Right. So yeah, peppermint as a cooling oil is also great for, us when we're too hot, right?
Yeah. Hot flashes.
Yeah, I've had a lot of friends have really great luck with peppermint through a hot
Yep.
flash. Yeah.
Sore
Yeah.
muscles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tired muscles. Yeah, I use it every day to focus for energy. I
I
mean, you
love how
can't,
you're using it, you're using it not just for yourself, but I love that you're using it on your babies and teaching the parents about it too, because a lot of parents, I think they don't want to be using the chemicals, right? But that's kind of all we see in the marketplace. That's all we see,
it's all we know. Yeah.
it's all we know. And in fact, doctors will also, a lot of doctors will tell us to just go buy the oil at the pharmacy, even if they think they're giving us a more natural option. That's what I was originally told by my doctor, is just go grab a pharmacy one. And I had a really terrible chemical burn from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yep.
really important, I think, for people to be able to go to people like you who are, you're not just, an oily person, you're also a baby whisperer, right? Like you know babies. You've been working with babies for several decades.
Feeling old right about now.
No, you're experienced.
Yeah.
You're the expert. And so to have a resource like you is incredible for parents and for nannies as well, because there are probably a lot of nannies out there who would also love to work with, essential oils with their babies and
Right.
maybe just don't know how to get started. So how can people connect with you?
My website is thebaby-whisperer.com. And there you will find all the things, all the things.
Like what? What will you find on your website?
You will find the sleep training program. You will find info about the nanny agency, um, info about nannies, young living stuff. That's my company that I use. I don't judge, except for if it's from a store.
Right.
Please, so many people. Um,
So as long as it's
uh,
pure, as long as it's 100% pure
yes,
oil, yeah, you're way better off doing something like that than with like,
yeah,
yeah, store bought. Yeah.
yeah. That was just my choice, so that's what I chose. But um, do your research, and you'll find all the things there about me. I also do photography, baby photo shoots, family stuff. Christmas is coming. There's a photography page there. My blog is up and running slowly but surely. Just
I know. I love your blog posts. They're great.
thank you. Gotta start somewhere, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much. Do you have any kind of last minute anything that you'd like to add in?
Last minute. Don't be scared of the oils.
Hmm.
Be scared of the chemicals.
That's fantastic.
So
So
many
true.
people are scared of this little bottle of goodness.
They
And
are. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And
be
really,
your own
yes.
doctor. Yeah,
And it's the chemicals that we really need to be at least paying attention to for sure, more so
they're
than
causing
worrying.
more issues than anything, right?
Isn't that the truth?
So yeah, if you have questions, let's talk. Start
Absolutely.
slowly. Start with one bottle.
All right. Well,
Gee,
thank you so much for your time today, Christy. And
thank you
we
so much.
will chat again soon.
I can't wait. Thank you.
Me too. Bye.
Bye.